Hey guys, so here's something that no one probably wants to hear. Your website is full of garbage. Not your content necessarily. I'm talking about the technical debt, the orphan pages, the redirect chains that are still active from 2017, and this is all because no one wanted to touch them. And Google sees all of this. You're out here chasing new backlinks, maybe worrying about how your brand shows up in AI overviews, all while your site is still tripping over itself. So how are you guys doing today? My name is Jake Sirota. Welcome back to Ranking Secrets from Authority Builders. And if you want real SEO tactics that actually move the needle and it's not just recycled LinkedIn advice, make sure to hit like and subscribe so that you can keep track of everything that we're doing here. But let's go ahead and jump into what we're talking about today. And today we're going to be talking about what I call the 30-day website cleanup. Well, you can really think of it like spring cleaning for your website. But honestly, you should be doing this all year if you're focusing on improving your SEO. So the idea is simple. Before you build anything new, fix what you're already working with so that the new stuff that you build works to its fullest potential. I've seen sites gain 15 to 20% more organic traffic just by cleaning up technical issues and pruning dead weight, not creating new contents or building new links at all. So just fixing what they already have. The reason why this works is because Google's crawl budget is real and your site's efficiency matters. If you think about what our job is as marketers and SEOs, it's to make it easier for Googlebot to crawl and understand your website and replace Googlebot with any of these crawlers from AI large language models as well. Google and these other companies don't like wasting time. They want to use their resources most efficiently. So our goal is to make that website easier for them to understand so that we're not wasting their resources. That way, they actually feel confident in recommending your brand, whether it be in traditional search or in AI search. Okay, so what's some actionable steps that you can take to audit where you're at when it comes to opportunities from a technical SEO perspective? Well, first things first, audit your redirects. Your redirects are probably a mess, whether it be 301s, 302s. I don't mean just having a few of them here and there. I mean having redirect chains that go through 3 or 4 hops before they actually land on the final page. And that's because maybe the website went through a redesign in 2017, and then again in 2019, and then again in 2021, and no one actually went in and changed those links. So now it's taking not only users long to go through these redirect chains, but it's also taking the crawlers long to go through these redirect changes. And that's going to be wasting your crawl budget. So again, what you need to do is audit your 301 redirects. Use a tool like Screaming Frog or Sitebulb to get a lay of the land and see what's actually going on out there. So after you do that audit, you're going to want to look for 301 redirects that don't go directly to the final destination the way that it's supposed to. Then you just flatten them. You make sure it's one redirect, if any at all, and it significantly increases how users experience your website and also how crawlers experience your website. So point number 2 that I want to bring up whenever we're talking about this 30-day SEO cleaning, spring cleaning for your website, it's looking at what we call zombie pages. So every site has pages that have 0 traffic, maybe 0 backlinks, and they serve no purpose really. That's what we call zombie pages. It could be an old landing page from a campaign years ago that no one deleted, or maybe it's a tag page on WordPress that's automatically generated, or maybe it's 47 variations of the same blog post because someone thought that that was a good content strategy. But the rule that I go by is if the page hasn't gotten organic traffic in the past, say, 12 months, and it doesn't serve an actual functional purpose like a contact page, and there's no valuable backlinks, then maybe it's a candidate for deletion or at least consolidating it with other pages. So either 301 it to something that's more relevant, or just no index it so that you're not wasting your crawl budget on pages that Google doesn't really want to even put in search results. Point number 3 in our SEO spring cleaning checklist is definitely going to be fix your internal linking. This is one of the biggest missed opportunities that I see all the time. Most sites have orphan pages that they don't even know about. These are pages that may have been built, but they're not linked to anywhere on the site or on the internet. And Google might find them eventually, maybe, but they don't prioritize them because your own site structure is saying, like, hey, this page isn't important. So again, using a tool like Screaming Frog or Sitebulb to look for these pages that have zero internal links is going to be important whenever you're auditing this. And then you have to ask yourself a few questions. Is this page important? Is the content relevant? Is it targeting things that people would actually search for? And if the answer is no, then you need to rework on that content. And if the answer is yes, then look for internal linking opportunities on relevant pages so that you can point more juice to that page. It might actually be a good candidate for SEO opportunity, but Google might just not know it exists. And you might not know it exists either. So that's where it all starts with doing a good website crawl to identify any of these points that I'm talking about. Okay, let's move on to step number 4 when it comes to your SEO spring cleaning checklist. This is having to do with cleaning up your canonical tags. So this one is personal right now because I'm dealing with a canonical disaster on a site migration and kind of picking up the pieces afterwards. But here's the truth. Most sites have canonical tag issues anyways, and they don't even know it. In simple terms, a canonical tag is telling Google which version of the page is the real one or the one that they should be paying attention to. So if your canonicals are pointing to the wrong URLs or to a staging domain that shouldn't be indexed, then you're telling Google to ignore your actual pages. So again, pull a crawl with Screaming Frog or Sitebulb and check every canonical. Make sure that they're self-referencing unless you have the specific reason for them not to be. 99% of the times, the canonical URL is that URL itself. Now, there's some situations where it's not the case, but for most websites and most URLs, the canonical tag is going to be self-referencing. Okay, point number 5 all has to do with indexation and looking in Google Search Console so that you understand how Google and other search engines are perceiving your website. So go into Google Search Console and look at your indexing report on the left-hand side and ask yourself, how many pages are discovered but not indexed? And how many are crawled but not indexed? These numbers oftentimes can tell you a story. If Google's finding your pages and choosing not to index them, that's a quality signal. Or it could show that maybe you have some technical issues, like in your robots.txt, you could be blocking some URLs. This is how you're going to figure that stuff out. So sometimes that page just needs to be better. Sometimes it needs to be linked to more internally on the website. But this is how you're going to actually understand how Google views your pages and if it's worthy for them to actually index and put in Google search results. All right, so let's go on to the biggest mistake that I see whenever people are trying to do, spring cleaning or they're trying to pay attention to SEO on their website. They oftentimes think of it as just adding things instead of removing things. They add more backlinks, they add more pages, but they never subtract, they never audit, they never clean up. And over time, this makes the website less effective for people. It makes it less helpful, and it makes it even more confusing for Google because, again, Google has limited resources that they can spend crawling your website. And if they're crawling pages that no one cares about or going through tons of redirect loops, then that's a signal to them that maybe your website isn't the best one to recommend to customers in terms of user experience and finding information that people want. Because at the end of the day, that's Google's job. And when we talk about AI search, that's also AI search's job, is to give people the best answer to their queries. And we need to make sure our website is easy for these crawlers and for people to understand. So if you're asking yourself, how can I get more traffic? Do I need to build more backlinks, make more content? The answer to that is probably yes. Building content and building backlinks is always good. But if you're not also auditing what you've done in the past and cleaning that up, then building new content and building new backlinks is not going to work to its fullest potential. Okay, so that's the biggest mistake that I see, but what should you actually do? Let's simplify it down into a checklist based on everything that we've talked about so far. So week 1, do a full technical crawl, identify redirect chains, broken links, orphan pages. Week 2, audit your content, consolidate, redirect, or delete pages where possible. And week number 3, fix your internal linking structure. Make sure that you're linking to your money pages where appropriate. Make sure you're linking to informational pages on your money pages. Internal linking is one of the most underused opportunities when it comes to SEO. And for week number 4, do a more in-depth technical check with that crawl. Take a look at your canonicals, take a look at your Google Search Console indexing report, and keep an eye on things and pay attention to the changes that you've made and how that affects those clicks and impressions for those pages in Search Console. So there you go. There's a nice checklist when it comes to cleaning up your website's SEO for spring cleaning. And hopefully you found that stuff helpful. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your process is for auditing your website from a technical perspective and what you're doing to chase traffic in 2026. I hope you found this episode helpful. And again, I've been Jake Sirota. This has been Authority Builders Ranking Secrets, and keep building that real authority. Cheers.